Ever wondered how your credit score is calculated? Diving into the enigma of credit scores, we find that these three-digit numbers hold a lot more weight than most of us realize. In the vast sea of finance, credit scores are like the lighthouses, guiding the ships of lenders, guiding their decisions on whom to extend credit to and at what interest rate. A credit score is, in essence, a numerical representation of your credit worthiness. It's like a financial report card, but instead of grades, you're assigned a score that can range from 300 to 850. The higher your score, the more creditworthy you are perceived to be. This means you're seen as less of a risk to lenders, and they're more likely to approve you for loans or credit cards. It's not just about getting approved, though. A higher credit score also means you'll likely receive better terms and lower interest rates on loans and credit cards. But where does this score come from, you ask? Well, credit scores are calculated based on information in your credit reports, which are compiled by credit reporting agencies. These reports include details about your credit history, such as the number and type of credit accounts you have, the amount of available credit, the length of your credit history, and your payment history. It's important to note that while credit scores are a crucial part of your financial picture, they're not the be-all and end-all. They don't take into account your income, savings, or job stability. So while they're important, they're just one piece of the puzzle. So next time you hear about credit scores, remember this: they're not just arbitrary numbers. They're a reflection of your financial habits, and they can open or close a lot of doors for you. So, a credit score is more than just a number. It's a reflection of your financial habits. Now, you might be thinking, what factors determine my credit score? Well, your credit score is like a hearty stew comprised of 5 main ingredients, each adding its own unique flavor to the mix. First up, we have payment history. This is the most substantial ingredient in your credit score stew, making up about 35% of the total score. It's all about how well you've managed to pay your bills on time. Late payments or defaults can leave a bitter taste, negatively affecting your score. Next, we stir in credit utilization. This accounts for nearly 30% of your score. It's the ratio of your outstanding credit card balances to your credit card limits. A low credit utilization rate suggests you're using credit responsibly, while a high rate can indicate risk and reduce your score. The third ingredient is the length of your credit history. This contributes about 15% to your score. Credit history, the better your score tends to be. It's like a fine wine. It gets better with age. Fourthly, we have the credit mix. This ingredient, which makes up about 10% of your score, relates to the different types of credit you have. It's good to have a mix of credit cards, retail accounts, installment loans, finance company accounts, and mortgage loans. Variety, as they say, is the spice of life. Finally, we add in new credit. This is the last 10% of your score. It looks at the number of new accounts you've opened, as well as how many new accounts you've applied for recently. Opening too many new accounts in a short time can negatively impact your score, like adding too much salt to the stew. Remember, your credit score is a blend of these 5 ingredients, each carrying its own weight. Just like in cooking, the right balance is key to achieving the perfect credit score stew. Alright, so we know what goes into a credit score, but how do these factors translate into a number? Now that's where the magic happens. It's all about the math behind the score, a complex algorithm used by credit bureaus to transform your credit behavior into a 3-digit number. Let's break it down a bit. You see, each of the 5 factors we discussed earlier doesn't hold the same weight. In fact, they each carry a certain percentage that contributes to your overall score. Let's start with payment history. This is the heavyweight champion in the credit score ring, accounting for about 35% of your score. That's right, more than a third of your score is determined by whether you pay your bills on time. Missed a payment? That's going to leave a mark. Next up is credit utilization, which makes up about 30% of your score. This is all about how much of your available credit you're using. Maxing out your credit cards? Not a great look for your score. The length of your credit history contributes about 15% to your score. The longer you've been responsibly managing credit, the better it looks to the credit bureaus. The last 20% is split between new credit and the type of credit you have, each making up 10% of your score. Opening a lot of new accounts in a short time can be risky, and having a mix of credit types can show that you're capable of handling different kinds of credit. Now, the exact algorithm used by credit bureaus is a closely guarded secret, like the recipe for your grandma's famous apple pie. but understanding the importance of each factor and how it impacts your score can guide your credit behavior. So, what's the takeaway here? While we may not know the exact formula, knowing what matters most can help us make smart credit decisions. And remember, it's all about the math behind the score, the invisible hand that guides the credit world. So, you've got a credit score that's less than perfect. What can you do to improve it? Well, let's dive into some actionable tips that can help you elevate that all-important number. Firstly, let's talk about payments. Making your payments on time is crucial in credit score improvement. Creditors want to see that you're reliable and can handle the responsibility of repayment. If you're prone to forgetting, consider setting up automatic payments or reminders to ensure you're never late. Next, keep your credit utilization low. This refers to the ratio of your outstanding credit card balances to your credit card limits. It's recommended to keep this ratio below 30%. So if you have a credit card limit of $10,000, try not to carry a balance of more than $3,000. It shows lenders that you're not reliant on credit to get by. Now, on to credit inquiries. Each time you apply for credit, it can cause a small temporary dip in your score. So, avoid applying for new credit unnecessarily. If you must apply, do your rate shopping within a short period to minimize the impact. Maintaining a diverse mix of credit can also be beneficial. This might include credit cards, installment loans, retail accounts, and mortgages. It gives lenders a more comprehensive picture of how you handle different types of credit. Lastly, don't close old credit accounts unless necessary. These accounts add to your credit history's length, which can positively impact your score. Even if you don't use these accounts, keep them open, but be sure to manage them responsibly. Remember, improving your credit score is about adopting financial habits that demonstrate to lenders your creditworthiness. It's about showing them you're someone they'd want to lend money to. Improving your credit score isn't a quick fix, it's a journey. But with discipline and consistency, you can improve your score over time. And that, my friends, is the key to unlocking the doors to your financial dreams. We've covered a lot about credit scores today. Let's do a quick recap. We started off by unveiling the enigma of credit scores. Remember, a credit score is not a random number, but a calculated measure of your credit worthiness. It's a numerical representation of your financial discipline, trustworthiness, and risk level to lenders. We then dove into the ingredients of your credit score. We discovered that it's a mix of 5 main factors: your payment history, which carries the most weight, your credit utilization, or how much of your available credit you're using, the length of your credit history, the types of credit you have, and your recent credit activities. Each of these components plays a unique role in determining your overall score. Next, we decoded the math behind the score. Your credit score is calculated using a formula that evaluates your credit history on these 5 factors. The most common model used is the FICO score, which ranges from 300 to 850. The higher your score, the more creditworthy you appear to lenders. We then journeyed through ways to improve your credit score. Paying your bills on time, keeping your credit utilization low, avoiding unnecessary debt, and regularly checking your credit report for errors can all help boost your score over time. Remember, improving your credit score isn't a one-time event, but a continuous process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. To conclude, your credit score is a key indicator of your financial health. It can influence your ability to secure loans, get a mortgage, or even land a job. It's not something to be ignored or taken lightly. By understanding how it's calculated and taking steps to improve it, you can open up a world of financial opportunities. Remember, your credit score is a reflection of your financial habits. Treat it well, and it will open doors for you. Until next time, stay financially savvy.